Milei and his law deregulation. What the heck's that about?
This is great. Okay.
I love it. I love his hair, by the way. It looks like yours.
Great hair. Like when we were with Glenn Beck, he was like, great hair. You're right about to become a South American president.
I love it.
You need great hair to be a Sorry, Rob.
For sure. Sorry, Rob.
It's okay. Those are my goals.
Anyhow, I met this guy 2019 at a economics and business thing. He was talking about pensions. And he walked in the room and I was like, who is this guy? What is he doing? What's his deal? Never in my entire life thought he was going to become a congressman and then president. Mm-hmm. And then he talked all the, he was like, I want to lower taxes. I want to deregulate, whatever. He talked big talk. I was like, okay, that's a big claim. I hope he has insurance because that's
yeah, no shit.
And he did it.
Wow.
They passed an omnibus bill that here in the U.S. is one of those big bills that have a lot of smaller bills inside.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read it straight from here.
Please. And while you're looking for, I love your Cholo button on your shirt.
Yeah.
You're giving that, you're Chilean, he's Argentinian. You're giving shout outs to Mexico with your, I like it.
Well, I must say that Chileans and Argentinians were natural enemies, like cats and dogs.
Really?
Yeah, sharks and fish.
Damn.
But I have to give the guy credit.
I respect you.
Even though Chileans are incredibly superior. We're the best guys in South America. We're the best. We're the
there
best.
There goes our 9 Argentinian fans.
Yeah. I know. Like, they had a shithole country for 30 years. We had a great country until like a few years ago. Well, anyhow, it's 664 articles. Okay, and this will make 41 public companies private. They have airlines, they have coal mines, they have a bunch of companies that Argentina owns, and they don't work because whatever is public doesn't work.
Gotcha. Yeah, no shit.
And what I really like, they're going to lower taxes heavily, especially when it comes to farmers. Big deal in Europe. And what I really like is that they're going to give tax amnesty.
So who?
To Argentinians.
Oh wow.
So if you own tax, back taxes, they're going to give you amnesty.
Oh,
so they're not going to charge
like the school loan that Biden and all these guys are doing left and right.
Wiped away.
This is one of the reasons he hasn't been answering my messages because he's been busy. Running a country's a big deal.
Yeah.
They had protests inside Congress for days.
Okay.
They tried to burn things down, whatever. They pulled through. They got this done. And one thing is what he talks about. Another thing is the bill he passes. And then we have a couple of videos here. So you guys know who he really is.
Okay.
Can we go to the video?
Let's see it.
Okay.
This is what?
These are members of his cabinet.
Okay.
Arriving at their job in a taxi. Street taxi.
Are you serious?
Street taxi. Yeah, look at this.
Kelly, can you play that?
So he talks and talks and walks. Look at this.
So does this mean they're humble?
No, that means they don't want to pay for luxury
cars.
cars.
Those are people in his cabinet.
In his cabinet.
Dude, I respect the hell out of that, bro.
That's what it is. He's not paying for cars.
What, dude? And that's how they're on a surplus, because they're doing this shit.
Yeah. First time in 12 years that they have a budgetary surplus.
Thank God. Bro, I'm telling you, this is called having a budget and cutting corners. And why do you need to be in a Mercedes to go to work?
Because Javier Milei understands that money belongs to the people of Argentina.
Oh, dude,
this is him. This is another video of him in a commercial plane in a flight that he paid himself.
Wow.
Just watch the video.
Oh, go ahead, Gal. Could you imagine? This is in Argentina.
This is
and is he sitting first class?
No,
he's in the back. Look.
Yeah. This is the people of Argentina in the national airline.
Dude, does he have a middle seat too? That's how you know he's humble. He got
I'm pretty sure all of his security was. Dude.
Do you see any security there?
By the way, I'd hate to be on that flight because the whole time, people are like, afuera, afuera.
Every time he boards a plane, a commercial plane, it's called Big Balls 1.
Sure to God.
That's what it is.
That's so
big
funny.
balls.
Big Balls 1. I don't know.
I like that.
Giga Chat 1.
But bro, look at this.
That's a real guy. Because he talks the talk, walks the walk, passes the bill, and flies on his own dime.
But do you don't think that's a little dangerous right there? If somebody has some tweezers in their bag, they're going after that guy.
When you're doing the right thing,
people love you.
You must have no fear.
Yeah, no,
when you're
I
on the
agree.
right side of things, you must have no fear.
I
And
love
this guy
that.
is fearless.
I love that.
And that's what you do.
That's a real attractive trait for a leader.
This is good policy. This is how it works.
I respect them.
I was gonna get a little bit to Bukele.
Okay.
He got reelected 2 weeks ago.
And Bukele, can you let the people know who Bukele is?
Bukele is the president of El Salvador.
Okay.
El Salvador was under the rule of the cartels for like years on end, and he managed to clean it up. Now, the funny thing is that we will think that these two South American leaders, I think El Salvador is in Central America. Anyhow,
I think so too.
They will get along, but they actually don't. And here's a learning experience for America. Like I describe myself mostly libertarian, mostly,
Okay.
but to do the things that Nayib Bukele is doing, the libertarians' ideas that are saving Argentina, won't work for El Salvador.
Why?
Javier Milei, during his UN address,
Yeah.
he aligned himself with the people, England and everything, that
Okay.
they want all these criminals back out on the streets because he's a libertarian.
Of course.
Like we know the Libertarian Party here, like you have a lot of flavors of libertarians.
Oh, defund the police.
So yeah, this is the right, two spectrums of the right, libertarians, someone that is more along the lines of a nationalist, working and giving solutions. So pick your flavor and, make the right decisions.
So can I ask you a question? Roberto, this is totally random though, but what, like, I'm pretty sure with any leader, they have opposition, they have people that want to kill them. But I mean, dude, that's pretty, to be out in the public like that, and I understand you have to be fearless, but I mean, there has to be a sense of safety to where, like, he's out there and he's very touchable. You know what I mean? Like, he's very touchable. I mean, but the people love him, but I think he needs to be a little bit more careful with just being out in the open like that. That's pretty wild.
Okay. This is a funny question. Like, well, for example, Jair Bolsonaro from Brazil,
Yeah.
he got stabbed on the campaign trail.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he did get stabbed, and he went to Chile a few times, and he had how do you call it when you repercussions?
Yeah, the after effects are still there.
The after effects still there. Loss of breath and whatever.
Yeah.
But he was out there in the street with the people, and he got stabbed.
Yeah.
And then he got elected president. So
Yeah.
It's like 50 Cent. You got to get shot or stabbed in South America just to have some street cred.
Fortune favors the bold, and the funny thing is that the left, like martyrdom,
Yeah.
is a big thing of the left. Like, for example, the George Floyd incident.
Yeah.
Okay? Most of the time they need a martyr. Like Chile went through a terrible period with the communists in power.
Yep.
And they've been using the martyrdom of like all the people that were allegedly killed during the Chilean cleansing of communists.
Yeah.
And they use them to this day. So like a dead guy that is doing good things from the right, dead is not good for the left. So they won't actually kill them because it's bad, it's bad press.
Yeah.
So you're kind of safe,
Yeah.
Yeah, but then look what they do to Trump, right? They're not killing him, but what do? They try and ruin your reputation, bankrupt you, take away everything you've ever built in your entire life.
Because they can't kill you.
Take away the things that your children have built as well, fine them to the tune of millions of dollars as well. So it's like, okay, well, we're the old way of blowing your head off as you're driving down Dealey Plaza in Dallas. That didn't work. We saw what happened when we did it, because look, it's 50 years later,
We're still
and there's
talking about
many
it.
Americans that still think he was the greatest president, and that was the death of the United States, was the day Kennedy died. You can't do that anymore. So what do? They ruin your reputation. They lock you up. They look at the New York victim bill.
Oh
They
my
create
God.
the bill, a window for anybody to go back and sue or hold accountable over 20 years, and look at the people that got wrapped up in it. A few guys that were music moguls and Trump.
And Trump.
And Trump.
Yeah,
so
weird.
it's like
Music
when,
moguls must have been like, what the heck? This is
Yeah,
different.
well,
Trump
it was Diddy, and it was happening because the bill, that law was about to expire. But they're
And
like,
everybody filed the
we got to
lawsuit.
start filing these lawsuits.
But so then, okay, they can't kill you physically. They can't kill your reputation because it only empowers you. So what do? They then create laws where they'll try and lock you up or to bank you and ruin any chance of you being able to run for president because you're bankrupt.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Andrew Tate said it a while ago, where he's like, first, and he's a prime example. He's like, first they try to discredit you in the public eye, then they go after your money, and the third thing is to kill you. And I tell people, I had this conversation the other day. I think it was with Adam on the podcast, and he's like, with killers and Putin, and I go, let me explain something to you, Adam. If it was a different time with no technology, with no Zapruders, because everybody has their own little baby Zapruder, they would have taken Trump out years ago. The moment he said, you know what, president, and they thought he had a chance, you're done. Like, you're donezo. Like, so it's pretty wild that you're saying that, because they're like, the only other option to do is destroy him through the courts, legal/illegal, and you're seeing it in real time. I'm just frustrated because there's not enough Americans. We're upset because we kind of see on the same. Now, we're not all the same, but ideologically and on the political spectrum. But the rest of America, like these diehard liberal brainwashed sheep that are still, they're like, no, the hell with them. Take all his money.
They say the same thing about you. They say the same thing about us. I think but the problem is, I don't think it's us. I don't think it's them. I think it's the way that the algorithm. I really believe that they're like the media obviously is the worst. They are the biggest dividers.
They're the enemy of the people,
yes,
period.
They have the saying in news is, if it bleeds, it leads. That used to be the nightly
horrible.
news. The worst story possible you kick off with, then you don't even get to it. You tease. Oh my God, there was a tragic accident. A bus fell off a cliff. Find out how many died after this Burger King commercial.
Yeah, what?
So that used to be how they like that. That is how they've divided.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And it always has been. But I really believe that there's more people that think more rationally like we do. And there are people from the left that we disagree on maybe some things here or there, but it's not, fuck you, we can't agree on anything. I think more people are rational and common and in the middle, but the outsides are what makes the loudest noise, so people pay attention to that. And it's the extremes on both sides. Both sides have them.
100%.
Left and right.
I agree.
But that's what they report on. And it's not the people that are in the middle that go, you know what, Pat said this today on the interview with Tiffany Justice, right? He and Chris Cuomo will get on the phone, and they'll argue for 2 hours. And then they'll go, how's the kids? How's everything like?
Yeah.
That is how I think most people are, that we can look past our differences and kind of go, okay, yeah, we disagree on some of these things, but for the greater good, let's work together. But we don't highlight that. We just highlight the extremes.
But what you're saying is very true. And the middle is a very weird concept, like politically. Like
to be in the middle.
If you talk about political theory, being in the middle is very, very hard being in the middle.
And why do you say that?
Tribal.
It's tribal. Most of the ideas from the middle, like they're very complex, high up ideas. Like most of the people, they will lean right or they will lean left somehow. And I think the only way out of this is, Pat talked about it yesterday, to like have heroes. You know, like Milei also talked about it in Davos. He called business people heroes because they're doing big social work by giving people work. And we had the New York City Trump trial.
Yeah,
you know, the
$350.
Yeah, the $350 million.
The million.
Like the truth will come out, like who are heroes and who are not. Like it's how how the market reacts to this. Are they going to stay in New York, or are they going to be like, hey, fuck you, I'm leaving?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's up to everyone.
My problem with the middle theory is the far right is living in some cabin armed up and you don't hear from them, and the far left that can't even say what a man and woman is in the Supreme Court or in the White House.
That's a very good point.
So that's why to me it's kind of unbalanced, because they have unweighted power.
Well, the thing with the left, though, is that the left is their Bible's rules for radicals, you know, and the globalists just figured like, oh, this is a better vehicle for us to accomplish our agenda because it's easier for us to like hijack them and, you know, get them to the place we want them to be. You know, like at a time during like the Red Scare, that's when the globalists were using the Republicans as their vehicle, but now like the Democrats are the same thing. So it's I think it's 10% on both sides that are the psychotic people, but those psychotic people are the loudest, and they're able to like use them to like represent the majority of people.
I think there's also, the thing is that people in the middle get too much credit. There's also psychotic people in the middle. For the first time ever last week, one of Adam's friends, I met a Democrat. First time in my entire life.
Like a legitimate Democrat.
Like a legitimate Democrat. First time in Florida, I met a Democrat.
Wow. What was it like?
Well, you've probably met some. You didn't know what. Because I met some that they didn't. I didn't find out until I left, and I had to take a shower because I felt filthy.
And I thought everyone saw what's happening, and you know, like I made my usual comments, and he goes like, "Well, I really stand in the middle. I'm not right nor left. I don't believe in right or left because they do this all the time.
Yeah.
They pretend to be center, like, and Republicans pretend to be center, and Democrats they're extremes that they pretend to be center." And then, like, after half an hour of gaslighting him, like, he was literally screaming at me from the top of his lungs.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
I like that you admitted you gaslighted him.
100%.
I love it.
100%.
But it's such a trick, though. It's such a trick to like put this column of things on this side and this column of things on that side that have nothing to do with each other. Like, what do taxes have to do with abortion? Like, why is it that like, you know, to low taxes is a Republican thing, high taxes is a Democrat thing? Then
you know how
abortion
Javier
is like the same thing. You know, like what sense does that make?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You know how Javier Milei describes libertarianism?
Yeah, free market.
No.
But no government intervention.
He describes it as the unrestricted respect for someone else's life project. Whatever it is. If it's taxes, if it's abortion, if it's whatever. Like I know what I want to do with my life. You know what you want to do with your life, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
But there's people that can't stand freedom. They can't
They hate
stand
it.
it. They hate it.
Like you said, the Stockholm syndrome. What were you going to say, Rob? You were going to say something about this.
You had mentioned that there are still so many liberals that are brainwashed, and while I don't disagree, I wonder, like, is there a large portion of them that have woken up to how bad things are right now? How things just don't make sense. We don't know what a woman is. We're watching, like, there's a story in the news where an Indiana basketball team, I think that was where it was from, they forfeited, a girls' basketball team forfeited the game because the other team had a biological male that was hurting the girls on the court. And people are in favor of that. The economy sucks. You can't, inflation's through the roof. People are shopping and buying less than they ever have before. Buy now, pay later rates are through the fucking roof. Credit card that's through the roof. How can you look at all of that and go, I got to vote for this for 4 more years? That motherfucker is going to be how old? 91?
Yeah.
How old is he now? 80?
84, 83, 84.
All right, so he'll be 88 in 5 years when he gets out of office. Who can continue to be?
Dude,
and I'm sorry I said that motherfucker in relation to the president of the United States. I don't mean it that way. Sorry for
it happens by group. Like you guys saw it live. Rappaport, he came to the show. That conversation, like that happened with the Hamas, Israel thing going on. That conversation was had in every Jewish American table in America. Like Hanukkah was right after what happened, and they were like, we can't keep on doing this. We can't keep on doing this. And most of them flipped because it's insane to support terrorism. It's insane.
Yeah.
And the thing,
go ahead.
sorry, the thing too is they're undermining the people they've been pandering to. Like you said with the women, they used to advocate for women's rights, but now they're advocating for like, oh, grown men should be able to compete with women, like physically hurt them. And then for black people are being displaced by the migrants they're shipping into here. So like women and black people are starting to be like, oh, okay, now I'm getting screwed over because they're going like to a different pander zone.
Yes. That's a great point.
That's a great point. But see, you know what I think, because I've been seeing it with these liberals that I know from California, they cannot admit that they were wrong. Because, by the way, I love, the one thing I love about my crazy ass, that if I mess up, I just go, guys, real quick, it was all me. Get it over with, say it, you move on from that point. The people that are like, I can't, no, and they defend even when they're wrong, and that's the problem, because like right now I'm seeing these people in California. One of our friends, I don't want to say his name, mutual friends, like, California's doing good. I'm not being funny. New York is doing better. What do you mean it's getting up? I go, you are, dude, I hung up on him and I blocked him. I go, I can't even talk to you. You're delusional. And I can't be, dude, it's so brainwashed. And mind you, now that this next 4 years, I'm telling you right now, if they let Trump win, all those people that we thought were kind of outgoing and they're kind of waking up, they're going to come right back in the fold.